This is a story about a Discord mod who breached a Fortune 500. It's not a hacking story. Let me tell you how. This is a Discord community full of fans of a popular product owned by a large company. He's responsible for giveaways, handling support tickets, welcoming new members. That's all pretty typical stuff. But this server is blowing up. Membership nearly doubles every month. So he automates. First up, a welcome DM so new users aren't left hanging. Then he makes a self-serve support ticket bot. The server is exploding from 5,000 to 120,000 members in 6 months. But the work isn't done. The Discord isn't going anywhere. So our hero builds a little community bot to handle roles, giveaways, support tickets. It even pings him when he has unread direct messages. Looking back, we can see that this project was pushed to GitHub. On the other side of the screen, a few team members at the company watch the server grow with amusement and mild envy. Their social team would love to build something like this. Can you spot the security gaps? I'll wait. In the beginning, our mod does everything right. He builds his bot to talk to the Discord API. At first, he handles giveaways manually. But after receiving 500 ticket submissions in a day, he builds a web scraper to qualify them automatically. A few days later, someone on the community team sees the bot and asks if they can borrow it. Of course, he says yes. After all, he's helping out the community and getting some good karma. As far as he knows, the tool will be used the same way. Meanwhile, the company's social team is struggling. How can they create meaningful engagement without insider knowledge? How can they learn from the community? Go back to the community team and ask if they can get access to the bot. The community team invites them to the creator's portal. Now, this isn't employment, it isn't vendor. It's just a place for people doing cool stuff. And for our hero, it's free clout. Access granted. 1 week later, our hero needs to run a giveaway. He fills out a form to request an API key and waits patiently. Meanwhile, on the company's side, there's a dark pattern. An engineer at the company manages several internal dev portals, including one for their own single sign-on system. There's also a section called External Collaborators. It can enable certain features for community creators. This person enables all features, including one that gives you an SSO token, links to a shared Google Sheet with the bot owner. This is a bad idea, but it's been done hundreds of times before and nobody ever noticed. In fact, it's a bit of a badge of honor. I turned on the toggle. How fast can you get me? The bot owner excitedly copies the token into their personal project, but they're not paying attention. They've accidentally already committed the token to GitHub. Fortunately, they catch it in time and replace it with a fresh version. Just in case, they set up an automated pull request to remove the old commit. The token is safe. Maybe, can you spot the anti-patterns? I'll wait. Back in the Discord, the giveaway begins. Users excitedly type in commands to enter. There's a problem. Every giveaway requires some kind of barrier to entry. The user must submit a Twitter post, an Instagram bio, a Twitch channel. This means most of these users have to copy and paste a lot of information. They would love a button they could click instead. Well, there's always the support tickets. On the company's side, the social team is facing the opposite problem. They want to make it easy for superfans to interact with them, but the current setup forces everyone to jump through hoops. They go to the community team and ask if they can add a button to their page. The community team thinks it's a great idea, but they don't have permission to add buttons to the Discord client. They go to the creators and ask if they can grant the permission. The creators are happy to oblige. The end result is perfect. Superfans can immediately submit a request. Social team members receive automatic desktop notifications, and the Discord is a lot less noisy. As the server grows, our hero writes a simple script to close duplicate tickets. He doesn't want to delete the tickets because each one contains a lot of useful information. He just wants to notify users that their issue has already been submitted. The problem is that the Discord API doesn't provide a way to do that. So he starts peeking inside the ticket responses to look for patterns. That leads to another anti-pattern. Even though the bot doesn't reach into the corporate network, the help desk endpoint trusts the token's scope. That means it sends back lots of information, including internal email addresses and Slack team names.
None of this is part of the public API. Shouldn't be there.
But the bot finds 4 unique identifiers to compare against. It works perfectly. Can you spot the anti-patterns? I'll wait. On the surface, nothing has changed. The tickets are closing as expected, but in the background, The log file has a lot more information than it should. Some of the tickets contain customer service notes. These notes have a special format. When rendered properly, they display as actionable items, phone calls, follow-ups, escalations. Our hero recognizes the value and writes a quick parser to extract them. Now he can automatically ping the agents responsible. Now it's time for a big giveaway. Our hero's written a script to handle the entire process, from sending DMEs to reserving winners to tagging them in a pinned message. It's beautiful, but there's a small problem. Some winners don't respond. The team leader mentions that she'll need to check her voicemail. What? Our hero thought they had an email address? She replies that the email address is also her username on the platform. Suddenly an idea hits. Why not search the platform directly? He grabs the list of winners and runs a Python script to find their profiles. Now he can tag them directly in the Discord and minimize the risk of no reply. Our hero has now strayed quite far from the original scope. He collects much more information than he needs, but he insists that everything is anonymous anyway. Can you spot the accidental overcollection? I'll wait. On the company side, a user wants to know what's taking so long. Our hero saw the same question in a ticket. He decides to combine them and ping the product manager. His response includes a link to an internal dashboard. The user clicks it without thinking. We now have a brand new problem. Can you spot the shadow access path? I'll wait. When the user clicked the link, they were prompted to log in with SSO. This is a reasonable prompt, except for two things. One, the user's account doesn't have access to the dashboard. But two, the dashboard was running in a non-production environment. It mirrored production data, including usernames, email addresses, and cookies. But since it wasn't live, the session didn't expire after a few hours. In fact, it stayed active until the user logged out, or the server was restarted. Most of the users forget to log out. That means dozens of contractor accounts have access to sensitive information belonging to thousands of real customers. It's time to join us back on the company side. Engineer sees the user in the internal analytics. They also happen to be one of the contractors who manage the Discord.
No.
The engineer clicks on their profile and checks the browser activity. All the usual websites are there: LinkedIn, Facebook, eBay, and Discord. They notice that the Discord tab is open, but it's not displaying any information. They click the dashboard link, and now it does. They log in and start poking around. They can see usernames and email addresses, but not much else. They're about to log out when they notice a filter for unclaimed prizes. They wonder how many people are waiting for their Razer keyboards. It's time to head back to the Discord. A user wonders who won the last giveaway. The bot responds with a list of unclaimed prizes and a link to the dashboard. This user is also a contractor. They click the link and log in. They want to claim their prize, but they don't recognize the form. They wonder if the page is glitching. They hit refresh. It sends a spike to the server. The dashboard triggers alerts for unusual activity. An engineer gets notified and heads over to investigate. They see that the user is on the dashboard, but they can't see any information. They try logging out and in again. And now the dashboard loads and they can see the unclaimed items. They claim one of the keyboards and move on. The engineer gets bored and leaves the tab open. They don't need the keyboard, but they might as well hold on to it just in case. It's time for containment. The company moves quickly. They revoke the bot's access and kill the token. They nuke all SSO sessions. The security team investigates the user activity, but it's hard to tell if anything has actually been stolen. They send out press statements saying that there's no evidence of malicious intent, but they reset passwords, rotate API keys, and notify the SEE. As for our hero, they cooperate fully and lose access to the bot. They eventually receive a stern letter from the legal team. If you want to hear more stories like this one, stay tuned. If you want to protect your own organization, here's how you don't become this case study. Treat community tools like third-party apps. Use least privilege. Make sure prod and test data are separate. No data mirrors with real info. Require secret scanning. Enforce commit hooks to remove secrets from code bases. Kill tokens when repo privacy changes. Review external collaborators like you would a vendor. But why are you inviting random kids to your dev portals? If you're a creator, a moderator, or a bot owner, here's how you don't become this case study. Never store or forward anything you don't need. Keep your bots in separate orgs or accounts. Rotate your tokens, use NVVR's private repos. And if you see internal data, Stop and report it. Document everything. This is a story about a Discord mod who breached a Fortune 500. It's not a hacking story. It's a story about trust gone wild. Most hacks are about exploiting software flaws, but most vulnerabilities are exploited by people. Hackers don't break in when the door is locked. They find the window that's left open and sneak in that way. Lock your doors, keep your windows closed, and maybe then you can sleep well at night.